Good morning. Hi. I just realized something a little bit frustrating, but entirely way too oh, it's Pisces season. And I'm realizing that it's kind of the opposite to my last videos. Although I'm not talking about compassion. I'm seeing the ways that I am my own enabler because of my feelings and wanting to feel good and wanting my feelings to be okay. God, humans are so multifaceted. Drives me insane. Also, sorry if this noise is awful to you. It's like soft nails on a chalkboard, but also I don't care enough to not do it because I need to do it because it feels good. I don't my color. Yeah, I'm realizing the ways that I am my own enabler because I want things to feel good for me, and I can make up delusional stories and reasons as to why that's okay. Everyone does it. I feel like that's just our lives, is it not? Like, we tell ourselves that things are okay to do because we need those things, whether that's like it's how we justify like addiction. It's how we justify bad behaviors or like patterns or choices. It's like because this, and maybe it's not always feelings based, maybe it's based on other shit, but I'm just seeing it kind of creep up. And I did this morning and I was like, oh no, this is the part of myself that I'm gonna have to confront or it's gonna hurt me. I don't like that. I don't like seeing something and then having to do something about it or choosing not to and knowing that the choice not to is hurting me. Because people are like, there's a saying like, you always have a choice. It's like, you really do. And the choice to not act is a choice. Anyway, I really confronted it for the first time in December when I started to understand this excuse that I'd created in my brain to justify feelings for someone that in the action of like having them and being so forward with having them and being so sure of having them was really just me like underpinning that I don't value myself enough. Like, I have these feelings for this person, and in order for me to make it okay that I had these feelings, I was just like trying to honor them and trying to be like, yeah, this is how I feel. And there's other nuances around it that like the past coming days I've been frustrated about, but it's whatever. The situation didn't like honor me, or it didn't like me having feelings for this person it wasn't necessarily a good thing. It wasn't innately hurtful to me. It didn't cause my life strife or pain. It didn't cause me strife or pain or anything awful. But it also, I was liking somebody who had feelings for me and who was determined to not feel them or not follow them for their own reasons, and then blame me for anything that they did that they didn't want to take ownership of. And me continuing to like this person was just me continuing to like a situation that wasn't good for me. But I justified it with this narrative of like, with the narrative of the feelings, with like the narrative of, but this feels so different and this is so deep and this is so unique and I don't feel like this about anyone else and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And even though that narrative might still feel so true for my soul, and even though those feelings like might, no, they've been kind of like dying a little bit with the realization of like, oh no, this person did just blame me for like everything that they did, they didn't want to take accountability for, or they weren't ready to see themselves doing yet. So I kind of don't like that anymore. But this is what I mean. I don't think I'm enabling myself in that area anymore. I'm not letting myself like persist with this delusional thing that's, even though it might feel whimsical and dreamy and romantic and beautiful, at its core, it's actually not supporting me, and it's not actually good. It's not actually a good thing. Like, these feelings are like harmless and sweet, and that's fine. I can feel that deeply for somebody, that's all right. But allowing that to be like an actual manifested thing in my life, with the other side of things not being anything really supportive. Well, no, the person's not that bad, but like the person themselves are fine, but the interaction with the relationship, to me, not the best for me in terms of romantic inclination, that blah blah blah, blah. Nuance. Person's fine, they're fine, they're not hurtful, but wasn't really respectful of me to be like, I'm just gonna keep liking someone even though they're determined to not, and like they're just showing me that they blah 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 and la 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 and blah blah blah. I no longer want to be like an enabler for me to put myself in that kind of situation. Anyway, that was the first time I kind of confronted those feelings that I can remember. And I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about that situation a lot in the past like 2 weeks, mainly just about how like, oh, those feelings, even though I'm gonna like let them exist, they don't actually feel like they exist in their presence, like in present tense. They're definitely like one of those things. It's like, oh, all right, that situation's always going to be what it was, and that's always going to be like, it's like I'm moving on, I'm moving out of that, which is eclipsing in and of itself, like an eclipsing moment. Anyway, I'm seeing it in other things, in the sense of things feeling good, or things being however they are for myself, and they work and they make me feel good and they support me and they cushion me in whatever way, and they enable me to feel or to not feel whatever they do. And there's a lot of just like allowing it because why not, and allowing it because seeing the other side of this thing is rigid and requires self-discipline and requires not necessarily self-criticism, but like this voice of like, bitch, you're not doing too hard, come on, like, no, like it's not the time to just like get home from work and sit on your phone because you're exhausted. What you should be doing is getting on your phone and doing some stretches, doing a yoga like flow video, doing something for your body because it's been sitting down all day and it's not good for you, and you know that doing something for your body will actually be far better for you, but you just sit and say that it's fine to sit because sitting is also resting, and you're also just tired. I was thinking about that one last night because I came home from work. I did exactly that. I came home from work and then sat down on the lounge and was like, I'm so tired. And I was like, no. There was this thing buzzing at me, just being like, you need to do yoga. You need to do something. You need to do something for your body because it's actually jack shit if you come home and you lie down, because you know your back's hurting. You know your hips hurting. You know that those problems are not going to be fixed by lying down. Don't be stupid. And I understand that's not a very kind voice. That voice is not full of a lot of compassion. I get that. So maybe we also need to work on the tone of the voice. But was it really like that, or was I just reframing it like that for like comedic effect? Okay, I don't actually think I talk to myself that way. How was I actually feeling? It's more like a, you know, you should do this. It's this little inkling of, no, you know yoga would feel better. You know better. Which I understand now as the voice that was kind of getting me like in a bit of trouble in my last videos. And this is what I mean by, oh my god, how confusing is this? Because this voice of like, come on, you know better, is the thing that's saving me right now. But that same kind of like, come on, you know better, is what felt like it was trapping me a couple weeks ago. Wow. God damn it. This is so confusing. Anyway, I'm just seeing it pop up in more ways than one. Just justifying feelings of comfort. And how easily delusion just like enables comfort, which is a very Piscean thing. And the reason why I bring it up is because it's Pisces season. It's a very Pisces thing. That's why Pisces encapsulates addiction and enabling behavior and like avoidant behavior, and like that's why it's that sign of delusion and all of that stuff, like, because it's what it does. If it's maladaptive, that's a part of it. Because the delusion can also be the daydreaming, and like it's what can help you set like humongous goals that you're like, I can daydream this and I actually apply myself and do something. Like, might not actually be such a delusional thing. It might actually be something amazing. Like, there's pros to it, but right now I'm facing the cons. Right now I'm facing, I'm actually creating a hell of my own making if I just allow myself to do things that feel good and that feel like soft and like nice. And I'm not wanting to be mean to myself. That's why I tried to like say that like I don't think what I need right now is self-criticism, but I do need a bit of like, hey girl, come on, like, you know this isn't good for you. Like, take a step back, look at what you're actually doing, like look at the big picture, which is a very Pisces thing. Like, looking at the big picture, don't look at what you're doing right now in the moment and like listen to what it feels good. Look at what it's actually contributing to. The fact that you come home from work and just go on your phone, and one, you don't actually pay that much attention to your bunny and she needs you. Two, you're not doing any favors for your body, which needs you. And three, you're not doing any favors for any other part of you that needs you. Like, and that's not to say that like I should come home from work and like do work things or like be more productive and not rest, but there are better ways and more restful ways and more enriching ways to find moments of peace. Like, my body's been craving meditation lately, and like I use that word lightly, I guess, because I don't understand meditation in any professional or any sense other than I use the word because it feels stupid for me to be like, I'm craving moments of just sitting in silence, and not using the word meditation because that would just be easier to say that. Anyway, why am I nitpicking about this? Annabelle? It's okay. Yeah, I've just been craving, I just want to go and sit outside, because the way, like, my favorite kind of just sitting in quiet is out in the bush, because my mind, whether I like it or not, and the reason why I don't say meditation is that I can't sit in silence. I need something for my mind to focus on. Sometimes it can be my breath if I've been meditating for a while, but getting back into things, being outside and hearing the birds and hearing the trees and the leaves and the bugs and like the wind, like that's something that my brain can just absentmindedly like have on in the background, and it's so beautiful and it's so nice and it's so calming, and it makes you feel so connected, like from the inside out. And my mind has been craving that lately. So I can go and do that after work instead of coming home and going on my phone and making my eyesight worse. But because I allow myself to kind of just go into this, like I finish work and I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired, and I just get in my car and go on autopilot, and I stop thinking and I stop being conscious and present, and then I just drive home and I am like, I'm not hungry, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch YouTube because I'm tired and because I can't fathom thinking about doing anything else, which I know I give myself the benefit of the doubt. It's difficult to think sometimes, but also it's not helping me. It's not compassionate of me. It's not loving of me to go, oh, okay, Annabelle, that's fine. And I understand for some people it might be like, I know that like Frankie Doodle Dandy is someone who, when I was like using Instagram a bit more, like I followed it on Instagram, and she says that like, you know, there should be moments of self-compassion for if you're finding yourself doom scrolling, and like, you know, to have compassion for yourself if you are at that place of emotional overwhelm and exhaustion, that you are doing maladaptive behaviors. There is room, like if you're wanting to start getting out of it, there is room to be like, okay, I need to understand why I'm doing this and the part of me that needs this or feels like it needs this. There is room for that journey. So if you need that journey, go on it. But I don't need that journey because I understand why I'm doing these things, and I do have compassion for the part of myself that feels exhausted and that doesn't want to think. But I need to tell myself no. I need to tell myself like, hey, I love you and I know you're exhausted and I know you're overwhelmed, but do you also know what we know is that your body's going to feel so good if, rather than just driving straight home, you stop at a lookout and you sit and do nothing but outside. Or, hey, you know what's going to feel better than lying down on a couch that's like admittedly lovely and so amazingly soft and comfortable and beautiful, is if you lie down on your yoga mat, and even if you just like lie on your back, like stretch out your legs a little bit, you don't even need to do a video, like you will feel better. What your mind is craving is peace and silence, and you can give yourself that in other ways. You don't need to just sit on your phone. Like I need that voice, because I've had, like, it was really useful for me to hear the narrative of like, just have compassion for the part of yourself that is trying to adapt and trying to cope with feelings of overwhelm and the stress of society and the stress of the world, and it's just trying to find ways that it can get through the day by going on your phone. I understand that. I can't stress enough that if that's the narrative you need, if your brain is working in the opposite way right now, take it. I needed that 2 years ago. I don't need that now. I need some, I think I need some Virgo. A bit too much Pisces in me right now. And I understand that what I needed in different regards, with different things, I needed compassion. Like with my art, I need more compassion. And with the whole rigmarole of how I approach myself around healing, in that way of like learning the same lesson over and over again and feeling like a beginner. I need compassion for myself, but there's just somewhere where me looking, maybe compassion is the wrong word, but like I needed compassion and I needed soft compassion. This situation is I need firm compassion. I need compassion of structure. I don't necessarily need the soft compassion. Maybe that's a better way to phrase it, is that I'm still giving myself compassion. It just looks different. And soft compassion isn't the only compassion that's healing and good and nice for you. Like firm, like not cold, not quite Capricorn cold. It is just Virgo, just like, no. You know you can do better things for yourself. And you know you deserve to choose better for yourself. Because that's what you're worth. You are worth feeling healthy. You are worth feeling good and capable. And you are worthy of acting in that way towards yourself. Because one, that's what you would say to anybody else, and that's what you do for anyone else. And you are worth doing that for yourself. You are worth showing up in a supportive and like balanced way in order to like, you're allowed to want to support and improve your life and act in a way that's in accordance with that. And that can also look like compassion and love. Anyway, it's just a pep talk I've been having. Oh my god. But I figure it's probably coming up for a lot of people because it's Pisces season, and I think Frankie Doodle Dandy is a Pisces. If you don't know, like, she's amazing. Follow her on Instagram because she's so insightful. And she's so amazing in a lot of ways. But yeah, like, I think Pisces season is probably going to call for us to have like a bunch of different ways of looking on ourselves and healing, obviously. And yeah, there's so many ways to approach healing. And yeah, if you are also in that place of like needing a little bit of like rigidity, like firm compassion. It can be difficult to navigate because sometimes the only thing we're taught in terms of like firm compassion is instilling it with shame or instilling it with threats or instilling it with like ignoring our wounds, just being like, all right, this isn't something I want to deal with, so I just don't want to see it. Or you have to do it, otherwise it's going to be bad. Like, you know, like using either fear or shame or blindness or whatever else as like a tactic to push you to like move towards health for yourself, which is like, no, actually what you can do is still use that same compassion and still care for yourself and just nudge yourself gently in a direction that's more supportive for you. And know that it's like probably not going to feel great. It's not going to feel warm and soft and cozy, and like it may not feel like what you know love looks like, but it is a way that love shines through, and it is loving yourself. Like, in a way, self-discipline is loving yourself, especially the parts of you that need it. I think is the point. Self-discipline is compassionate, and it is loving yourself. And I need it, you might need it, and it's okay to need it. It's okay to recognize the parts of yourself that are a little bit floaty and maybe you just need like a little bit more like lovingly get it together. But yeah. Hopefully this made sense. I think I was just babbling for a good 20 minutes, but when am I not? Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, Should I try and say things better? And like, should I try and be more succinct and not talk for like 20 minutes? And then I think, that's not my job right now. Because I often wonder, I often realize that I only really get to my point after like 15 minutes of babbling. I'm like, could I save everyone the trouble by like planning things out and being succinct and perhaps reaching more people and helping more people? And I could, but I don't know how to do that yet. I actually don't know how to do that. All I know how to do right now is think for myself. I don't necessarily know how to think for others right now, but that's okay. My tattoo is itchy. Guys, what they say about getting tattoos removed being more painful than getting the tattoo is so true. Really consider getting a tattoo. I love tattoos, they're beautiful, but oh my god. The one that I have on my body that I want kind of faded and gone, it is causing me a lot of money and a lot of pain to get removed. Ooh, buddy. Isn't that the lesson? Anyway. I'm done. I'm so done. And that's a good thing. Am I gonna post this? Am I gonna post? See, this is the thing. I get to the end of a video and it's like 26 minutes and I'm like, do I want to post this or do I want to refilm this and maybe be more succinct? I think I just need to trust the universe and like whoever sees this, sees this. If you got here, you got here. I'm so happy you got here. If you didn't, maybe people will eventually get here with time. And also, maybe it's not the be all end all, because what I'm saying isn't the most revolutionary shit. It's just revolutionary to me. But that's enough. Okay,